Now, one thing cool about developing for the web and developing for browsers is the ability to look inside the website itself. Now, in this case, I can look at it. This is the website. This is the HTML code that I wrote. And this is what is displayed as the HTML code. But sometimes I don't get what I expect to get. Sometimes there is some problem. Let's see a scenario. Let me delete this file, this line here. Let me delete this p tag. Refresh, and I don't see this paragraph. Now, maybe I made a mistake and I deleted this paragraph by accident. And I'm not understanding why I don't see the paragraph. I forgot that I deleted it from my website. I have a very large website. I'm tired because I've been programming all day. And I can't figure out where this problem is coming from. Why don't I see my text? One cool thing about developing for websites is you can look inside the website code. The way you can do it is by right-clicking anywhere on the web page, but I will do it now specifically on this text. I will right-click and hit inspect. What you will see, and it usually for most of it will be opening to the bottom. It will be open like that. I just like to move it to the right because it's easier for me to navigate between the website and the code itself. But what you will get is this sidebar, and this is called the developer tools. The developer tools is a set of tools for you to inspect inside your website to see what is going on. What is the problem? What do you actually see here? It's what the browser see. Okay, so whatever the browser get and displays, this is what you get here in the developer tool. This is what the website, what you think of it like the script for a play. So this is the play that the browser actually got. If you have some other idea in your mind and you forgot to save it maybe, so the browser won't get it. And when I'm inspecting, I'm seeing all of the HTML code that I have here. And this is the HTML code that I wrote as a developer. And it's very powerful because when you have a large HTML website and you're not sure where things are, and you want to look for by the specific text, so you know that after this text there should be a paragraph because this was your intention in your mind, you can either right-click and inspect, or if the DevTools is already open, you can use this button here and inspect the file, inspect the element, the HTML element, and the browser will show you where is the location in the code. And I can see here that there is some paragraph missing. And then I'm saying to myself, oh, maybe I forgot to add the paragraph. Maybe I forgot to save. Maybe I deleted it by accident. Maybe now it looks kind of dumb because I don't have a very large website. But the more you program, the more you're using this tool, and especially when your website is large. So let me go back and try to fix the problem. I will go back here and add the p tag. And hey, everyone, I think this was the text they had. Happy coding and learning. Save the file, of course, refresh the page. Now I get it back and I can see also the code here. So whatever is saved in the file and shipped to the browser, I can see here inside the developer tools under the elements tab. There's even something cooler. Let me open another website, apple.com. Now, this website is a website made by Apple developers. So a group of developers at Apple wrote a lot of HTML and even CSS and JavaScript. And this HTML file is getting shipped to our browser, to our computer, just like the file that we created. So it will be displayed, right? So we can see all of the content inside. They have some header here, they have images, we will see how to use images, etc. Now, assuming I want to understand how Apple created this text, okay, or this image. There is something cool about this website and I want to learn. I want to understand how to create it, what type of HTML tag or CSS I need to use. One very cool feature is that you can right-click it, hit inspect, and you can see here, you're inside Apple's code, Apple's website code. Now, this is not hacking. There is no hacking here. The reason there is no hacking here because all of the front-end code that we're writing for the web is accessible and presentable to everyone who surfs the web through a browser, okay? So for every website in the world, all of the code, it's inspectable. You can look at it. You can find specific parts of it and understand how they be done. And I can see here that Apple is using some kind of tag, which is called an A tag. Okay, just like we have here is H2, just like we had H1, so here is an A tag. Okay, of course, that most of it will look kind of complicated because we didn't learn what classes or href, etc. But the more you learn, it will make more sense. And if you want to learn something new, you can always take this part and maybe Google it. Let's try to Google it. Let's see. Let's ask Google what is HTML A tag. So I'll go to Google. I will do HTML A tag. Usually I don't really like to go over to W3 Schools. Usually what I like is to go to developer.mozilla.org. This is the results I usually like to read. This is the website I usually like to pick as a reference for learning about the web. Usually Web3 Schools is less professional in my opinion. So we'll go to this link here. And it tells me an A tag in HTML, it's the anchor element. The A tag HTML or anchor element with its href attribute, we'll learn what it is, but you have a link here. If you not sure what it is, you have a link, you can copy the link and read it later. Creates a hyperlink to web pages, files, email addresses, locations in the same page, or anything else a URL can address. Content within each A tag should indicate the link's destination. If the href attribute is present, pressing the enter key while focused on the A tag element will activate it. We can ignore this. Don't ignore it, but I will ignore it for now. But what you can see here, there is an example. There is some code here. You already know what it is. This is the paragraph with some text inside. There are some other HTML tags, which we didn't talk about, but we can skip on them for now. We want to focus on the A tag. And we see that we have this A tag with some text inside and something on top of it. Okay, let me copy it. Let me copy this A tag. I will go back here and let me add it here, okay, inside my website. So I'm adding this A tag. It has some text inside, and by what we learned that we have those texts here and those texts are presented to the user, I think that also this text will be presented to the user. So the question is, what is this text here? We have another text here, which is not going to be presented to the user. And what it is, if you remember from here, it's an href attribute. What is an attribute? An attribute is type of information we can add to HTML tags, to all of our tags. Doesn't matter if it's an A tag, P tag, H1 tag. And this is, you can think of it like metadata. Okay, it's some type of information we add to a tag. The user doesn't see it, but it is used by the browser. The browser does use it for some functionalities, okay? In the case of an A tag is an hyperlink or just a link. Think of it like a link. Of course, link is one of the most fundamental building blocks of the web. So you will use a lot of links in your websites. So this link will display this text, but it will be linking to this address, this internet address. Okay, so I don't want to display this internet address, but I do want the browser to open this address when I click the link. This is why it's an attribute. This is type of information which is a metadata of the HTML tag. Okay, it's not something to be displayed, but it's something to be used by the browser for some kind of functionality. So I will go here to my web page. Of course, don't forget to save. Refresh the page and I get it here. You see, the user doesn't see the link itself. It doesn't see the URL of the website. It just sees the text that we wrote. And when I will click it, the browser will try, or it will open this URL, okay, the example.com. This is the URL that we added to the link. It won't work. Usually when people go to example.com, it doesn't work, but maybe they made it work. I don't know. I don't remember when. Okay, so this is an A tag. And you see how I found a new functionality of the web with minimal information. We just learned two tags. We just learned the basics. But by using this inspect tool, which is very powerful, oh, sorry, I clicked something here. This is not what I want to do. But by using the inspect tool, I can look at other people's code and make sense out of it. And if I'm not sure what I'm seeing here in Apple's website or any other website, I can always Google it. So do HTML, if it's about HTML A tag, or there is a div tag here. We don't know what div tag is yet. So do HTML div tag and go over to one of the links you see on Google. I suggest to go to MDN, Mozilla Developer Networks. They have the most professional documentation for the web. And read about it. And after you read about it and you understand what is the purpose of this HTML tag, use it. Maybe it's something you want to use in your website. Okay.